What's happening? And welcome to yet another episode of the Bring the Whiskey podcast. I am one of your hosts, Damo Hicks. Along with me, as usual, on the far end, we've got Kelvin Smith, the newbie, and in the middle, we have the epicenter, the bourbon brain, the information superhighway that is Bo Wheeler.
Hey, everybody.
I would like to point out, I hope y'all like our new setup here. I'm gonna look closer to it. We're trying to bring that conversation for you a little better.
I like the setup. I like the setup. It's more intimate.
I do too. I like the
Yeah,
setup.
yeah. Then I don't have to turn so much. I can just kind of talk and see y'all. D's always telling me my mic's low.
My mic sound.
No. All right. I'm I'm excited about this one. So, oh wait, you didn't finish your pregame shot. Okay. All right. Well,
I will
you go ahead and finish that, and we'll work through this. So, in honor of National Repeal Day, that was yesterday. It was the repeal of Prohibition. I figured we do a battle of the olds. People always, not people, but distilleries label stuff. I think old is a marketing ploy, right? They want you to think that it's
Steeped
even
in
before
tradition.
you buy it. Yeah, they want you to think it's from
Before
Prohibition.
Prohibition.
Carry some type of weight.
Pre-pro, even all that stuff. So I figure I pulled a few old labels that I have in the cabinet to see. Let's taste through these and see actually how they stand up against their titles, and then also we'll get into some mash bill stuff with these as well, because I think that's important when you talk about things that are aged differently. And how that mash bill flows out around each of the individual selections we got here.
Okay. Walk us back in case we got anybody that's new to the podcast or they skipped through episodes and it's the first one they're seeing. What constitutes a flight? Why do we have 4 bottles of liquor up here?
A flight can be any kind of liquor that's related. So you can do a 2, 3, 4 selection. You can do a lot more than that flight where you're tasting different bourbons. So right now, these are only really connected by the fact that they have old in the title. Right. So this is not a fight around mash bill, recipe, or flight around where they come from, because these come from very different places, or at least some of them do. Just old. So
when you're at home having that kickback and you want to put together something like a tasting session for your friends and you want to have the proper terminology, flight is what you're doing, right?
A flight's what you're doing.
That's what you're
and
doing.
This one could be entitled "That Boy Old."
There you go.
Yeah.
Old
This is a Drake song or something. Somebody in the background yells, "That boy old." So, and then we also I pulled out my Dusty bottle collection in the back just as a display. Not that these are anything pre-prohibition, but they are old bottles.
You can't tell.
Yeah, they the old Dusty bottles. Woo. Sorry. All right, so what we're going to get kicked off with today is Old Tub.
Not that.
Yeah, Old Tub.
What you wash your balls in?
This old... An Old Tub. Old Tub was actually before Jim Beam made Jim Beam, they made Old Tub.
Made it in an old tub.
They still make Old Tub.
They still make Old Tub.
Okay,
It still
so
comes from the Jim Beam
Beam
Distillery.
Oh, I do. I see James B. Beam. That's a guy, right?
Yep.
Okay.
James.
Now, so in terms of mash bill, this one is 75% corn. It's a lot of corn. It only has to be 51% corn to be bourbon. 13% rye, and then 12% barley.
What's the distinction I see on here? Sour mash. What does that mean?
Well, sour mash. A lot of bourbons use sour mash. I mean, it became famous with Jack Daniel's old number 7 sour mash, but really most whiskeys, most bourbons start with a sour mash. I don't say most whiskeys, but most bourbons start with a sour mash. But what's really interesting about this one is non-carbon and non-chill filtered. So what's important about that is
It's clear.
it comes out of the barrel,
Just like
into that bottle. And the chill filtering, so the carbon, usually they pour through carbon to remove some impurities. And then the chill filtering, they make it cold before they filter it, because whiskey the things that bring whiskey flavors are sort of the fatty acids, the lipids, some of that stuff. And that's actually solids. So when you chill filter it, you make the solids sort of congeal.
They get to the
so it gets through.
You can filter it better.
Yeah. And
Like curds and whey. Like the curds, when they make cheese, they separate it from.
very similar. Exactly right.
When I hear filter, I just think of
That boy smart.
Newports.
Well, and there we go.
So yeah, I mean, same thing. So like an unfiltered cigarette.
Yeah.
This is an unfiltered bourbon. So this one is coming to you right out. The only thing that they catch for is any wood that may have come out the barrel.
Okay.
So if you pour this over ice,
Yeah.
you will probably see it cloud up a little bit because
wow.
it has some of those
Fatty
fatty
solids
acids and
and stuff
lipids
like-
and stuff that are still in there.
So is a sour mash?
There you go.
Is it because they allow the fermentation to do, like, it gets real yeasty type fermentation, and that makes like that sour, kind of a sour smell and or like undertone to the flavor?
I believe so.
I did that.
100%.
He did that.
And usually, the corn and the rye are the flavors, and then the barley is more about the enzymes that are in the barley to help that fermentation. And then some distillers will use either a chemical or some other thing to help the yeast live longer while the yeast is fermenting.
Extending that lifespan of the yeast so they can ferment.
So they can put out more alcohol.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But that's essentially what it is.
And this is the same yeast when we talk about that. The same yeast that we see in the baking section of a.
Similar.
Similar.
Very
Okay,
similar.
very similar.
Now, that's one of the things that people don't talk about a lot is that the yeast of the yeast that you're using imparts a lot of flavor. People, the mash bill is one thing, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of effort to keep people's yeast strains
Yes.
proprietary as well, because they may produce a fruity flavor.
Yeah.
They may, because it's essentially it's a yeast fart
Yeah.
that makes the alcohol,
Like a
right?
bit.
So it produces different smells and flavor, hence sour
So
mash,
the yeast in there
right?
feeding on all this corn and stuff. And
Yeah,
just letting it
and
out.
then letting out alcohol. So anyway, so the yeast is important too in terms of the overall flavor.
I think you said that once before,
Yeah.
that people have a proprietary yeast strand that they keep in in the family.
100%.
That they only use that same yeast over and over and over.
Same
and
way
over.
they do for sourdough bread.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's what that's what we were talking
Yeah.
about. Yep.
And when I just hit the name tub, while we can go and nose it, but the name tub, I always think of gin. I associate gin with tub.
Why's that?
I associate with
Bathtub
washing
gin.
my.
Bathtub, like that's what the first gins were made, like in England, if I remember the story correctly, in a bathtub and all that stuff like that.
Hey, this thing smell
Yeah.
good, buddy.
Yeah.
It does. Smell sweet.
It don't smell like an old tub.
Smell corn.
Nah, it doesn't.
Smell like a couple of
The corn is what gets me. It smells. It smells sweet.
Like Silver Queen.
I might have just coined a new term.
It's
Swell.
heavy on the
Smell sweet. Swell.
Swill is some nasty stuff.
It's heavy on the yeast
nasty.
farts.
But
I
swell
smell it. The
means-
yeast farts full of the
The
here.
yeast farts. Swell.
Yeah, did you just go 1950?
Swell.
The swell.
Oh gosh, Chief, it was swell.
Yeah, I like this. I like the nose on that.
Yeah, I do like it too.
I poured myself a big taste. It's thin.
Uh,
I think good though.
It
I
is.
know that's a
It
word
is- it is
I've
very,
used before.
You know what? Maybe they didn't filter out the complexity because this thing is complex.
It does have a lot of notes.
It's
to
a
it.
lot
And
happening.
It lingers.
You know what it's like? It's like if you watch the Blue Man Group. That's what this is.
Where they're beating on the drums.
Yeah, they got like a thing, and then all of a sudden they hit the lights,
everything,
and then there's
Yeah.
painting everything, and then they playing a tube and like a PVC pipe, like.
and it's everywhere, huh? And you pay $200 a ticket.
You know
That's what
what?
this is.
I'm tracking that because there's a lot. There's a lot going on. You get a lot on the nose. You get a knot on the tongue, on the palate, and then you get a little lingering
You get
after
that-
it's over.
It tastes. The after effect is unfiltered.
Yeah.
Like that is literally the only adjective.
I don't know.
have
If,
for
I don't
it.
know if
Yeah.
thin is a taste, but to me it tastes
No, it
a little
absolutely-
thin.
Which I wouldn't expect
Doesn't feel
because
heavy
this
like
is
some of the other
it's
stuff you
unfiltered.
make.
because it's unfiltered. I wouldn't have
Oh, that's
expected
what- that's
that.
what's doing that.
But
Okay.
it might be young. I'm not sure what the age on
Yeah.
these are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way though, it's good. I'm gonna put a thumbs up for it so far.
This is $19. So in terms of some of the
course
other
it
stuff
is.
that
Yeah.
we've tasted,
Yeah.
That's a $19.
I like this.
That's a $19 cork.
I think this would.
Now I know you.
I think this would be great in cocktail.
You think so? I know, Damo, you pointed out before you don't like the mass production type aspect of anything. You want that uniqueness, that rarity that you can bring. So do you get that mass production type taste in this, or you feel like it's a unique bottle to its own?
That thing goes straight from the barrel to the bottle.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
That the cup.
Okay.
I gotta agree on that. I mean, this is real. This
Just
had
because
some
the
body.
This thing has got a
But the
lot happening
association
to it.
with Jim Beam doesn't throw you off at all.
Jim Beam got on. Jim Beam is just a catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got Makers, you got Suntory Toget, like
Yeah.
right there. That's two different ball games right
Gotcha.
there.
Okay.
You got a Japanese scotch, and then
Yeah.
and then your classic your classic Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's the Knob Creek.
yeah,
That's
that's
And I noticed they didn't throw the little catchphrase small batch on here like we see on some.
oh no,
no, that's a good point. That's a good point. So this was meant to be a mass-produced whiskey.
Okay.
I would drink this over Jim Beam all day, every day.
I would drink this over a lot of things that we've had.
Yeah, 100%.
And some of the expensive ones as well too.
100%.
Just because of the complexity, I like what's happening. This is like I'm trying to tell you, this is like the end of Sister Act 2. When they did the concert. All right, never mind. Oh, happy day.
Crickets,
All right.
crickets.
Sister Act 2.
Y'all ain't religious.
Was Whoopi still in
shout out,
Sister Act too?
shout out Whoopi Goldberg. Was
There
that the
was a-
one with Lauryn Hill and
Lauryn Hill was in the
What?
Sister Act.
Yeah.
Where you been at?
All right, so we moving from Old Tub again to being the old episode, to Old Granddad. Now we've had the bottled and bond Old Granddad before, right?
That was delicious.
Which we didn't mention that this is also bottled and bond, the Old Tub.
Yeah, they got the same. They got the same core.
Want to know about bottled and bond?
Yes.
You can go to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
We have a 6-part series, 3 parts individually, and then another for the final 3 episodes.
It's phenomenal.
On YouTube, where we talk
All
about
that.
a bunch of old, bottled and bond expressions. So go check that out.
Matter of fact,
However,
link in the episode right there. Bow.
yeah, do that for us. Yeah. So there. So Old Granddad. This is not the bottled and bond. This is 114 proof.
Ooh.
So
And they put it 3 times on the bottle to let you know.
yeah,
One,
they
two,
want you to
three.
make sure, and it's at the top on the cork. Show the
Yeah.
cork. And on the cork, they just want to let you know what you're getting into. So 114 proof Old Granddad. Go ahead and pull that up, Kel.
Step lightly.
Hey,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Where you wash your old granddad at?
And that is a
In an
man-
old tub.
This is a man's cork.
That is
This
a man's cork. You
Oh,
couldn't find
yeah.
a stopper
Look
for
at the
that.
girth on it. Look at
Yeah. It is girthy.
That's like your old
Oh,
old
come on,
granddad's
Kelvin.
knuckles.
You're gonna have to pour a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's
my
another.
hands
Yeah.
heavy. I got a heavy hand.
I don't even know if I want you to pour mine. That thing come out like a like
Yeah.
a
I mean,
like,
But it's got a. It's got
look how
the-
wide that
It's
Dijon
so wide open.
mustard top
Big
is
and
on that
girthy.
thing.
It's like, don't you tip me or me.
yeah. Yeah, it
Pour it
does.
like a man,
Like a
boy.
man.
It wants you to pour a lot out of that for sure. So this is also out the Jim Beam line.
That thing good too.
Old Granddad. We enjoyed the Old Granddad Ballad and Bond.
Yes,
we
we
were all
did.
surprised. I think about
Yeah, I
how
really
good that
was,
was. So
It was
this
cheap too, right? It was like another like $20 or something like that for the bottle.
100%. Yeah, it was like 22, something like that. It was definitely under 25.
I will look it up right now.
So this Old Granddad is 24. The 114 proof is 24.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is out of the Jim Beam line, and they almost discontinued this. Like they had dried up supply on this around 2016, 2017.
I'll tell you if it
And
should or
then
not.
I don't know what happened, but
What
Jim Beam
causes a drought
said,
in the bourbon industry? What was some
well,
of
in
the
this
factors behind that?
in this case, Jim Beam for whatever reason had decided they weren't going to offer this expression
Okay, so-
anymore.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It could have been sales.
Executive
You know how
decision.
everything is.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
is
yeah.
all about the money and the damn thing funny.
Yeah.
So if you ain't selling,
'Cause, I
then
mean,
they probably not going to keep you.
I know
on the
we're on
shelf.
old and we like the tradition behind it because we're a certain sect,
About the
but
money and the damn thing.
that actually
Yeah.
might turn off some buyers. Like the word old associated
Yeah.
with it. They always want the new thing, like the trendy thing.
It could
like
be.
like the billet, like we were talking about last time. That seemed, even though it's new.
It's progressive, right?
Yeah, it's progressive. It looks progressive, but
Yeah.
the bottle, the packaging, the one word name, and all
Yeah.
that stuff like that. So
No, I agree.
So-
The old, I think, is for bourbon whiskey connoisseurs.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. This
But
is
if you
not-
ever want to, but a lot of things vintage are coming back, right?
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So I
too.
think the old aspect of it gives people that, hey, in my cabinet I have,
Yeah.
I got old granddad, I got wild turkey, I got
Yeah.
old elk, like stuff like that. I think people is
Colonel
like, this
E.H.
is
Taylor.
this is gonna be like some pre-prohibition. These were around a long
Yeah.
time, just because, like
Yeah.
we were saying
I
earlier,
can
because
see
it's
that.
got old
I
in
can
the
see that.
name.
That vintage.
Speaking all about the money, I mean, Prohibition only lasted 13 years because not only did people dry up in terms of drinking, they dried up in terms of that alcohol tax revenue for the federal government.
Hey,
so
but
check this
so
out,
The economy is
so
about the
Franklin
economy,
Roosevelt ran on, I'm going to repeal Prohibition.
Let me tell you
and
something.
he did in 1933.
So in
Longest
the
serving
coronavirus quarantine shutdown,
Yes.
what things shut down and what things did not? I can tell you what didn't.
Go ahead.
Liquor stores.
Liquor stores.
Up 24%.
Essential. They were actually designated
Yeah,
essential.
yeah.
Up 24%.
Liquor stores
You know, it's interesting.
and pistols.
Gun sales up 300%.
Gun sales up.
Yeah.
Alcohol up. Alcohol was on a trajectory, and I know this because I have been doing the market research for the distillery.
Yeah.
But it was on a trajectory to increase until, for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
This COVID I mean, it jumped straight to
Straight up.
the 6-year projections
That's it.
just
Done.
based on the COVID. Yeah.
Hey.
And that was a consumption, like as in people going and buying bottles from liquor store, taking it home.
Yeah.
Because
Correct.
we're all isolated, we're all at home now, unless we have
Yeah,
reason to be out.
but also restaurants, it's like we live in Maryland, and so
Yeah.
restaurants were given special exception to now not only sell bottles out to restaurants, but you could take home cocktails from restaurants,
could.
which
Yeah,
you
I
couldn't
saw
do
that.
before.
I saw that.
I got so many
Ruby
mason jars at
Tuesdays
home.
and TGI Fridays and all those places like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
This thing smells great.
Now let's smell. It smells to me like pecans, walnuts.
It do have a it does have like
Is this a corn base?
seasonal
or is it rye
nuttiness. Like
That's a good question. This
those
one is
nuts roasting.
63% corn,
63% corn. Okay.
12%. 27% rye, which
There you
I
go.
am getting right now,
I do.
Oh yeah, I don't like rye.
and
I
then
don't like rye.
and then
I don't
10%
like it.
malted barley.
So Damo, before our viewers out there,
don't
describe
like
what a rye like I'm a newbie. So how do you know you're tasting rye? What is that? Is it a stinging taste? An aftertaste?
It's like a sour, bitter.
Yeah.
It's unpleasant to me. To
Now,
me, it's
Now,
unpleasant.
is
I'm gonna
that
tell you
taste
something.
what most newbies associate with a strong drink?
I think so.
I think so.
Think so?
It has this weird taste to it that I can't explain. It makes you. It almost dehydrates your mouth,
Yeah.
and then this
it's like dried. It's
right.
like
It dries it out, and then but this is like dry and then burns.
It's like
That
a
rye.
it's the same dryness that you get
Yeah.
when you have a very dry white wine, like a brute
Yeah.
champagne,
Yeah.
if you will.
So this that taste that people always describe. So that one that kicks you back. That this is a stiff drink. That's maybe the rye.
It could be.
bourbon?
It could be
Okay.
real
Yeah.
rye, but it could also
Or it could
be
the straight strength.
the majority. Yeah, and the majority of
114.
flavor comes out of a wood barrel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, young whiskeys who haven't had a chance to develop a lot of flavor,
Yeah.
they can give you that kickback as well. So if you have a young whiskey that's only been in the barrel, 2 to 4 years or whatever, it can feel like fire
Oh.
too. Yep.
So that's where the whole term "age like fine wine" comes from a little bit right there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to pass on this one so
Yeah,
far.
I don't
I'm
like
gonna
it.
come back to it.
I like
but
the old granddad,
Yeah, this is a little.
the bottled and bond old granddad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the aftertaste or if it's just overall brute in the strength of the bourbon.
You know,
but
I've tasted this before, and
Yeah.
I feel like I liked it before. This time around,
That rye is crazy.
it's hitting me a little bit different.
I don't like it.
Maybe because I'm just coming off of this
Following that.
a lot of corn right here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take some dark chocolate. For
Okay.
the next one.
I see why. I
While
see
we
why
passing
they.
it out, tell us what the dark chocolate does for anybody again that's new to our podcast.
I see why they got rid of that though.
The dark chocolate kind of resets your palate.
Yep.
It basically moves all of the sugar off your taste buds, and so you can start fresh with your taste.
Kind of the same thing that the coffee beans do to your sense of smell when you testing colognes and perfumes.
Exactly.
Yes, they do.
This is why I stopped bringing dark chocolate out, because we always have to go through this segment of.
Tell them what you're looking for. In case they knew.
Remove the sugar off my palate, ladies.
Some women might say shouldn't have been no sugar there to begin with, but
See, that's why you make feel down.
Lord have mercy.
You get tired of being sweet.
All right. So we just had a rye experience, right?
Yes.
We had a corn experience.
Yes.
So this is actually works out. I didn't even plan it this way, but the next one in the list is Old Elk.
Old Elk.
And one of the claim to fame of Old Elk is it has double the normal barley that's included in typical whiskey. So corn, rye. Now we're gonna taste what it tastes
gotta
like
tell
when
us about this.
when
Gotta tell
so
the story behind this.
barley
right here.
is up.
So am
Front.
I expecting like a beerish flavor?
I don't know. We're gonna find
Like
out
a
together.
lager type?
I just opened this. We're gonna
Okay,
find
well,
out.
let's do it.
And
This
I'm
is
pouring it
probably-
right out of the moose's
Yeah,
mouth.
right
Right
out of
here.
the or rather the
Make
elk.
sure we got
right?
the elk. Make sure I got that right out. Right
So you still don't need to pour that much.
Trivia. Can anyone tell me the difference between an elk and a moose?
Elk and a moose.
Yes.
The horns.
What is it about the horns?
They have they're shaped different.
I'm gonna go with size.
Well, no.
I mean, a lot of viewers don't know, but I lived in Alaska for 5 years.
Moose have wide.
Moose are humongous.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm going with
Moose
the
are
size.
humongous. I would think the elk is a little closer to the size of a deer.
Yeah.
Not as big as a moose, but
Yeah. Okay. So
still in the same family. They're cousins.
so an elk is a deer with a with a cow's nose.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
I think heavy hand there. I think an elk is more of just where you find them at.
Watch this. Watch
Yeah.
this.
Where do you find the elk versus a moose?
Well, they both elk and moose are more oriented toward the colder climate.
So I saw something.
Deer can be in like a hotter place, but the elk and the moose more colder climate.
Okay, I thought it was a moose. Might have been an elk, but I was in Montana and I visited Pompey's Pillar, which is the only physical evidence that Lewis and Clark crossed the United States. They etched it into a rock.
Yeah.
And I thought what was blocking my path was a moose, but maybe it was an elk. Now, this is from Colorado, so this is not from Kentucky. Are we doing the Game of Thrones? Okay, so what House Baratheon, is that what it looked like?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so is this House Baratheon?
This is.
So the Lannisters
are the dragon. No, the
lion.
Targaryens are dragons.
Dragons.
Starks are wolves.
Wolves. Okay. Are Baratheons part of that?
Baratheons are.
They're not part of that four.
They were.
Were they?
No, they're not part of the big four,
Yeah.
but they were there.
Okay. So anyway,
They had to get rid of them.
the Game of Thrones fans,
Joffrey, technically,
whatever
last
we just
name was Baratheon.
He was.
But he
Whatever.
wasn't really one.
He was
a
a
Lannister because they
Lannister.
do that. Incest. That's why he looked like Jamie.
Why
Well,
did
according
you
to the,
make
according to the
incest
internet, the
into a
internet
song?
is a plethora of information. Like we said, size is the major difference between a mook and an elk. And of course, moose.
Oh, that sounds.
Moose and an elk. The major
Italian-
difference. The major
that's
difference
Italian
is
derogatory
size.
term.
Because Mookie Blaylock was an
And
average
the elks
size.
are way more agile, according to this our site here.
So they're similar in size.
They're both part of the deer family.
Yeah.
No, they're not similar in size.
Oh, they're not.
Moose are traditionally
Hey,
bigger,
okay.
way bigger.
But moose,
Again,
their horns
'cause-
are like
hey,
this.
Again, because of the climate, they're surviving in a much harsher climate,
But they
so
have
they
wide-
they can hold a lot more food, store a lot more fat.
All you know about Moose came from
Yeah,
Rocky and
yeah.
Bullwinkle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to have Moose.
So stop.
Yes.
So stop.
I used
So
to have
stop.
moose sleep on my driveway.
It's a
For
horn.
the heat.
And now, what is the plural of moose? Is it moose? Moose.
No, it's moose. It's
Moose
like
is the plural.
moose, like fish.
Moose.
It's like Vietnamese. The plural is still Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So anyway,
Beautiful smell.
I don't know why that's what
If,
came to my
beauty, if
mind.
smell was a beauty, this would be a nice smell.
Is it really?
You know what I hate doing? And
It does smell good.
smells
Can you put
very
that back?
good.
Can you put that back?
I,
smells
I
very
like
good.
this.
House Baratheon.
It smells very good. So, what am I smelling here, Damo?
I do.
That beer.
Beer?
That thing smell like beer.
I think you were already expecting.
I was expecting that.
I smell caramel.
I do smell some caramel. I do get a little bit of burn.
No,
I
Not
wouldn't
going on.
be-
I don't.
I don't know what you get.
I think I do.
I don't trust anything you get.
I get a little vanilla.
Whose taste palates have been proven right on this show?
Candy corn one time.
Proven.
One
I'm bringing it up
time.
every time I get a chance. I'm bringing it up because whose
He
taste
had read
palate have
those
been put to the
ingredients
test
prior
and
to.
proven right?
1,000%.
Who's been proven right on
You
this
went
show?
to bar trivia, and that was one of the questions,
corn
and you
has
got it right,
ingredients.
and now you trying
Who
to
has
rub it in
been
everyone's
proven
face.
right on this show?
Something a little odd about
This
it.
is, dude. I'm. you know,
What's throwing you off about it?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know if it's because you told me that barley was in it.
Yeah.
But I do get like a Budweiser aftertaste, dude.
I haven't tasted it.
What else is barley used for besides making beer?
Soup,
Soup?
barley wine.
Yeah, isn't barley like
Which is nothing but
isn't
a
barley like a
strong
plant,
beer?
like a
It's a grain, so
yeah,
probably
greenish
feed. I don't know what else
for
barley is.
cattle and stuff like that.
Barley soup.
For elk,
Yeah.
feed for elk.
It tastes grainy.
It does.
Barley tastes grainy. Is what I'm saying. It tastes like grain.
This is a different
This
taste.
is not bad.
This is a
First
different taste.
impression. I see why it's got this. What is this gold winner distinction on here, guys? What does that mean? What did they win?
This was from the San Francisco International Spirits Competition, which is, I believe, unless they did something weird with the name,
Yeah.
that is pretty much the largest spirits competition in the world.
Oh, wow.
And if you win something there, it typically means you're about to
yeah.
expand
Level up.
or
Oh, so this is where
you're already great and you
This-
just expect to win.
this is where okay. So it's not just newbies. Anybody can enter this.
Yes, anybody can enter
Okay.
that. What's interesting about this is that Old Elk is actually
I was looking forward to this.
Master
too.
Distiller Greg Metz. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Metz. Anyway, I think we talked about before that there are
Yeah.
bulk liquor distillers.
Yes.
MGP being one of them.
Yes.
Midwest Grain. He used to be I believe he was the master distiller at that facility, which does a number, like so many different bourbons.
Okay.
And they brought him on to Old Elk
Yeah.
to oversee the distilling and the tasting and the blending
Because of
of
his
this.
expertise to specialize in the narrow focus.
So he's the
into
truth. Like
Old Elk.
he's a legend in bourbon whiskey
Okay.
industry, and so they brought him on to.
It seems like a
support
very.
this.
I mean, I don't know a lot about the craft, but it seems like something you have to be very tailored in and very focused and specific in
well,
your
yeah. So
articulation.
how
of
much
these
is that?
bourbons.
there is that was $41. There is, to me,
Did that
there
pour
is
come with it?
just the pour came with it. It's a gift set, Christmas gift set.
Beautiful.
Is a master distiller, and then you have a master blender. And to me, the trap I'm on
Yes.
is blending, right?
Yes.
And
Blending
to
is
me,
more of a finished product. You're putting finished
correct.
products together.
And so
All right.
blending to me, now
Yes.
this I don't know what the official how you textbook whatever, but
Yep.
blending to me is about taste.
Yes.
It's about tasting and figuring out what goes together to come together to make a single
Now-
expression or multiple expressions.
Gotcha. On that note,
Mm-hmm.
before you move on, tasting. So you mean, do you know what you want before you get in? Are you trying to achieve something that you already have in mind, or are you just trying to know? You know when it's right, when it's right.
So I guess
Both.
you have a
It's both.
Okay.
Yeah. So like for me, as a person who's developing a product line, I know what I want my product line to taste like. But bourbon, because of all the natural environment things we talked about before, is not necessarily going to happen from
Makes sense.
one barrel.
Yeah.
Right? I got to be able to blend barrels together to get to the flavor expression and the profile I'm looking for. But then the other side of it is master distiller. And so to me, master distillers they know their taste as well,
They build it from scratch.
but they're building it from scratch. You're talking about biology, science, chemistry, all of that stuff. Because you're literally starting with
Wow.
the dirt that the corn is the corn, the barley, and the rye is planted on, the soil, and the soil
Fertilizer.
that the oak is
Yeah.
planted in for your oak barrels.
Wow.
The age of that's where you're starting in the distilling
Yeah.
process. So
That
you
seems
really
like a
have to be in
lifetime.
tune.
That seems like a lifetime type.
It is.
thing.
I think one of the things that I've heard recently is that if you're really a true master distiller, you're only going to get to the first two tastes you were trying to achieve. You're just not going to be old enough to get to the third.
Man, that's dedication.
Yeah. So if you look
That's
at the Buffalo
dedication
Trace
out there.
Distillery, the master distillers
Yeah.
who are putting out, a 24-year-old or 20-plus-year-old Pappy Van Winkle,
Yeah.
they might not necessarily because they're not coming out the womb doing it right. They wait until 20. You're not going to get to the third expression.
Dang.
So the next generation of distillers is going to have to carry that forward.
So the third expression
I might
is
not make it with you to the mountainside, but remember what Dr. King said?
yeah, I might not get there with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but
Wow,
but, yeah.
that's dedication.
Yes.
That's,
So,
I can
I mean,
respect that.
That's-
Salute.
But you know what though? But that's all part of the that's all part of the mystique
Yeah.
of whiskey.
I agree.
Correct. Now
Why aren't more people doing this?
with the pourers,
Yeah, I like that.
they probably will. Depending on how they sell.
Think
Like
about
you
it.
said, It's
Think
all about
it.
the money.
What, on an old granddad, what would the pour look like? Some old dude like
Guys that are like, people probably would buy that.
pouring out of a bathtub on that shirt.
I thought I had the actual cork that it came
Yeah.
with, because even the actual cork that it came with is like a live edge piece of.
It's like wood,
like a
It's
branch.
yeah.
Now you got
So
an
even that
impressive
is really
collection
nice.
right
That's-
here.
even that is really
Give
nice.
us a 15-second walkthrough of what your collection, how you build your
Hold on.
collection back
Hold on. What,
Go ahead.
Do you think that it's a elk antler like cut like a portion of it? You think that's what it is?
Probably.
I don't
bone.
know. That's a good question.
That would be dope
We're going to
because
pull
it
that
makes
out when
sense.
we do
Antlers are bone. So
next
Right?
hard
No.
cut, we had to
It
figure that out.
is, but you
Yeah.
could also use it as
You can crush
a
it out. I mean, you
steroid.
can do whatever.
too.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
you did?
Deer antlers.
Oh,
So
that's
just
why he was
real
out there
quick,
knocking people's head off.
this one is 51% corn. So
Yeah.
this is the minimum amount of corn you can have and be still called a bourbon.
Ooh.
51%. 34.
Otherwise, you'd be a whiskey.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
something else.
Okay.
34% malted barley. So
Yes.
this is double and triple what these were, malted
Okay.
barley, and then only 15% rye.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to that. Give us that elevator pitch of how did you build your
My collection?
your collection here.
OCD.
So yeah, that's part of it, and I
And
really
this comes from a man that's known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's 3 letters. I
Yeah.
summed up in 3 letters.
Yeah. So one is taste. So like where I have had the fortune to be to taste unique and different bourbons, just because I've been into bourbon for a while, and I've been into like sort of alcohol for a while, and different. Before I was like heavy on bourbon, I was into
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah, we
so
were.
so
Been drinking.
taste.
You've been doing this for me.
yeah. The taste, and then so based on the taste,
Yeah.
it leads me to other things. So I tasted Maker's Mark, which led me to understand wheat
Yeah.
bourbon, and then
Yeah.
explore what that looks like, right?
Yeah.
And then I tasted Buffalo Trace, and I tasted Blanton's. Really, I tasted Blanton's first, which then expanded me into the Buffalo Trace line. And then you start to get an understanding of how these things are made, who's involved, and you kind of expand from there. And so then I get an idea of what I like.
Yeah.
And then I start buying things that I think are in the line with what I would like.
So,
Chasing the
for both
dragon.
of you guys, you both are more experienced than me.
Chasing the
A lot of
dragon.
newbies out there trying to build their palettes and build their collections. Also, What's the first line of advice you give anybody that's starting out to do that?
So don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
So let me say this really clearly and really quickly is
Yeah.
that the bourbon is really the secondary effect of a relationship. Like the
Okay.
bourbon is what brings us together.
This guy's deep.
To have fun together, to chill together, to talk about things.
Yeah.
It's just a secondhand expression of that relationship.
Gotcha.
So it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then so I select a lot of different bourbon because I think other people would like it, not necessarily that I would like it.
Then you take your shirt
Damo.
off. And then after you go from the relationship,
This what the advice you giving newbies: take their shirt off.
You take your shirt off, and then you have a conversation. And then you take your pants off.
And we still tasting.
But we still got bourbon going. And that's the start of the relationship.
It's not at all what I was talking about at all whatsoever. I'm talking about this right here. I'm talking about people sitting around having a good time.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey there.
Go on,
Yeah.
sip that.
What
real
is
quick.
his catchphrase? Does he use the catchphrase?
Hey, everybody.
There it is.
Yeah, that's that's my catchphrase.
Hey, everybody.
I'm really excited
Okay,
about this.
so Damo, what is your one advice you're gonna give to the newbies real quick? Tell us something that as a newbie myself or our viewers more importantly.
Have a flavor that you want in mind. If you like sweet,
Smart.
aim for something with caramel notes.
This man
and
is-
then
this man is
chase
deep.
after the caramel notes.
This man is deep too. Yeah.
You never know because
That brings me one more point though.
What it's about
Like how am I as a newbie? I can't look at a bottle and tell what it tastes like. What ingredient? If I could just look at this real quick, what ingredient should I be looking for? On the
I'm
back
glad
of
you
the
asked that
bottle?
question. What I
Yeah.
would do is I would check out the Bring the Whiskey podcast.
There
Because
you
these
go.
guys seem to have all the information before you even try it.
Yeah.
Who the Funkins?
And just
And I'll ask the question that's on your mind. I'm putting
Right.
those questions out there too.
because there's no recipe. There's
Yeah.
no recipes on it. You can't pick that bottle up and look at it and say, look at the back of it and say this has
Absolutely.
like this, right? So you got to do some research.
Yeah.
And a lot
He's
of them
already done it 'cause he's the bourbon brand.
and that's what I'm here for. I'm going to do the research for you because they're not going to necessarily tell you what their mash bill is because they don't want anybody else trying to recreate their mash bill, right? So you got to figure it out. And a lot of that comes from taste. There's a lot of people around the world who taste whiskeys all the time.
Yeah.
And they give you an idea. Like the mash bills that I'm quoting are things that experts have said, we believe this is what it is.
Yes.
It's not necessarily that they told us.
Yeah.
I think with the exception
You're right because there's no ingredients list on the back of any of these bottles. That I
Yeah,
see.
so you got to do your research. You got to figure out what you like. I mean, that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is popping a bottle with your
Yeah.
friends, passing around, tasting, and saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, we like this or we don't," and then we go to the next
Perfect.
one or we buy more of this.
All right.
Bring the Whiskey podcast.
Hey.
If you want to know things,
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
We
We got
drink
all these resources.
and we know
And
things.
www.bringthewhiskey.com.
And you got the merch.
You can get the merch. You can get that hat right there.
You gonna look good like me in this hoodie. It's getting
Yeah.
cold out here.
All right, so with that, we're gonna move
I'll
on
give
to
you my
the
address.
last one, Old Medley.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna move on from Old Elk. to
Last but not
Old-
least.
Old Medley. Old Medley, when I got it kind of concerned me a little bit, just because there's no information. Usually, bourbon folks love to tell a story. Whiskey folks love to tell a story, so you can
scary.
see it on the label. Old Medley doesn't have anything on the label. So when I picked it up, it's in a pinch bottle, which is the shape of the bottle.
It's got the little squeezy jumps on the side.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then,
that's what a pinch bottle is.
but there was no further information, so I didn't know what I was getting into. But Old Medley is aged 12 years. It is
Tiny cork.
Wathen's whiskey bourbon. It was made by that distillery, by the Medley family. And what's interesting about it is this year they're only producing 2,500 cases of this whiskey.
Oh, so they
So it's
trying to be
very limited
exclusive.
edition. Yeah, limited edition.
They trying to get it with the exclusivity.
Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be great, but it does mean that it's a limited availability of this particular whiskey. So this is straight bourbon, Old Medley, 12 years old, and it is the same whiskey that's in Wathen's, but just aged 12 years.
For comparison.
Oh, granddad ain't
The
around.
cork. It's not about the cork. It's about the taste, right?
Yes, that's about
Not
the taste.
about the
Well, I'll
cork.
tell you
About
what,
the taste.
because that old granddad was not good.
It wasn't.
So here you're looking at 77% corn, and you're looking at 10% rye.
Now, in the grand scheme of things, is that high or is that low?
It's corn.
Yeah,
I think it's high.
The percentage.
So this was 75.
Old Tub was
Yeah.
75, and we
75.
thought that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 77 and 13% barley.
Okay.
Huh.
Woo. It's been a challenging flight. I
has.
am.
It
I don't
does
know if
smell
it's
good.
showing through, but I am feeling it.
Yeah, it smells good. Definitely floral.
I'm getting a hit from just the smell.
Definitely floral. Not a lot of spice, not a lot of sweetness.
No,
Floral, but
it's
not
smooth.
sweet.
It's smooth. It's uh-oh.
But it's good. That's a good call, though. I think I like this. I actually like this stuff. Not bad.
I'm not
Not bad.
It's not bad. This one
Not
I picked
bad.
up for I believe it's about the same price as Old Elk. They were both around $40.
I can check it on TotalWine.com. That's our site for today.
So, out of all four of these, that old tub that's my wheelhouse right there. That old tub make me happy.
I think I would choose Old Tub over this as well.
Yeah, the old tub make me happy.
Now, it's not that it's bad.
This isn't bad. Yeah, it's not bad, but I don't.
It's just nothing special about it.
No.
For it to be a 12-year-old whiskey, for it to be limited edition.
$41.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's just yeah. It's me.
I taste more of the rye than I think I would have tasted. This might be one of those instances where we're getting high up in the age, 12 years in a barrel, and so that wood is starting to overtake a little bit some of the more nuanced characteristics of the whiskey itself as it was made by the
I'm
distiller.
glad you said that because now I taste a lot of wood.
Yeah, I think I'm right there. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Why I said
It's
that.
very-
Yeah.
It tastes like a barrel. It tastes like a, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
If you smell a barrel, this tastes like
That's
the
it.
smell of a barrel.
That just barrel, raw barrel.
Like just straight up
Straight
wood
barrel.
old barrel.
Now,
Yes.
it's not my favorite of the ones we
Not
tasted
at
today, but
all.
it's not bad though. Like I would definitely take if you had a gun to my head and said pick one, this or Old Granddad, I'm gonna go with that.
And I believe this. What's that proof on this thing?
Let's look at
It was
that.
80 something, right?
They don't have much information on the bottle. It got a
Yeah.
barcode.
Yeah. Turn it back. to the front.
86.8 proof.
So in that
Old Medley.
regard, I would take Old Granddad because you're talking about only 86 proof, which
Yeah.
means there's way more water in that than it is Old Granddad. So at least you get some flavor out of
Yeah.
Old Granddad. This,
Yeah, but do you want that flavor though?
I want flavor. I want to
want that
taste it.
flavor? You
wanna taste
I'm not going to drink it.
So that's a good line of thought. Now, does the proof is there a direct correlation between the proof and the taste for you or the flavor?
100%. Yeah,
So
that-
the higher the proof, there is a correlation.
Yes.
I thought it would just mean and the power, the punch behind it.
yeah, that's flavor.
That's flavor. For
It
you.
doesn't mean it's good flavor.
That's what
right,
I'm saying,
right, yeah,
yeah.
but it's flavor. So
Okay.
to me, the higher the proof, the more you can taste in
Yeah.
it. Now, a lot of
Now-
times it's overpowering,
Yeah.
but the
Now,
lower the proof,
that's a good point. Like
Yeah.
in reality, a lot of newbies aren't going to want that
Right.
overpowering. Like, oh, this drink
Right.
is too stiff. I can't even.
if
enjoy
I was
it.
back
feel
in
like
my
I'm-
if I was back in my early 20s and I was drinking to get drunk, I wouldn't waste no money on this. I go with vodka, something that has no taste. At least in my opinion, not defending
blend just-
any vodka drinkers,
Yeah.
but it's neutral.
Yeah.
And I'm just drinking it because I want alcohol in my system.
Hence why they mix vodka with
I
a
get
lot
the
of
same.
That's why
I
it's
get
a
the same
cocktail.
dryness that I get from that Old Granddad.
astringent
in
taste.
here.
Yeah.
Well, let's compare
Just-
the.
I don't like it.
Just takes everything
So
out the
that's,
mouth.
I'm gonna say this has got to be the rye has to be a.
I would compare
similar.
this to mouthwash. It's taking all
No, it's
the
actually
everything
much
out your
different.
mouth.
Old Granddad is 27% rye,
Okay.
and Old Medley is only 10%. But it's been watered down. Now, so what's that? What's 114 minus 86?
You asking me to do
I
math?
don't know. Something
Looking
like
at about what 20 something.
27,
Yeah.
37.
I will get an
That's a
exact.
lot
We
of
don't like to
difference.
give false
but
information, so
you
let me
can't
give you an
tell.
exact.
no,
You can't tell by the drinking.
Oh, I
Like
can
once
tell.
you sip it,
Well, we're 4 drinks in, but
Yeah,
So-
I can tell. Because to use Kelvin's word,
Yeah.
this is light on flavor.
Yeah.
This is not light on flavor.
no, no,
you
it's definitely
said
not light on
114 minus whatever that proof is.
80. What was
Yeah,
that?
86.8.
86.
86.8.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, 27.
27.2.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were in the ballpark.
Yeah, we're a whole whatever wine, double wine, like quadruple beer.
Now, in terms of proof comparison, that's a significant, like a 27%.
that's a
difference.
major
And it is
fluctuation.
percentage. It's not just a arbitrary number. It is a
Percent of
difference in
alcohol by
percentage.
volume.
Yeah, got you. So it's
So,
a direct correlation. There's literally a 27% difference between these two bottles.
No, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
So it's 27 proof.
Got you. So yeah, that's what I'm.
So this one is at 86 proof. This one is 43% alcohol.
Ooh, look at the math. Look at the math
This
on here.
one is at 114
Yeah.
proof is 57% alcohol.
Yeah,
It
volume
should say it
content.
on there.
So it's more alcohol in here than it is water.
Yeah, it says
Yeah.
it.
There's
40,
less.
43.4% alcohol.
Got you.
Yeah.
It should say it on
It
there.
says it on the bottom. But I did the math just to impress everybody out there.
Very impressive. Very fucking impressive
But
right there.
think about that.
Nerd.
There's
You're
more.
not getting this anywhere else. Please subscribe. Please hit that. Follow us on Facebook. Friend us on whatever we need to do. But
So think,
you're not getting that anywhere.
Think about that. There's more alcohol in this bottle than water.
Yes.
There's more water in that bottle than alcohol. If you light that on fire, it'll burn until it hits 49.999% proof.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets the water.
till there's more water. Yeah, but so I think that's different. Again, for the price and for the flavor, I'm going with that. Because guess what? In a cocktail,
It's $24.
I can use an ounce of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use 2 ounces or
bottle.
3 ounces of that
Yeah.
in order to get the same kind of flavor. And
But
the
I tend to want to pour my whole bottles in my Hunch Punch. But
what is Hunch Punch?
Hunch Punch for the viewers out there.
Yeah,
probably
that's a
you
new
know,
one to me.
That's
Nobody
anything
wants to
that
know.
you like mixing up to try to put a lot of alcohol but hide it with like a lot of sweet flavor.
Oh, that's
like
like
jungle juice.
anything.
Like
Yeah,
a-
jungle
same
juice.
thing as
It's
jungle
got
juice.
several- it goes by several
Hunch
names.
Punch.
like a dump
It's
cake.
been known by several names throughout the times, throughout the centuries,
Dump
but
cake.
the end
Everything
result
dumb in
is
there. I don't
the
think
end
so.
result is traditionally everybody probably use Everclear in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
jungle juice.
High
Yeah, that's jungle juice.
proof.
High proof.
Try to hide it with juices and whatever.
Yeah. Everclear is way higher. But
Doesn't it just look right to pouring the whole bottle into it?
Yeah, jungle juice.
So,
Sunny Delight.
in the grand
Sprite.
scheme of it,
Yeah.
I'm old tubbing.
Let's do the ratings.
Okay, let's go.
I'm old tubbing.
I will say mine for last, sir.
I'm
Damo.
going for that's my favorite.
That's your choice
Favorite?
right now?
That's my
That's
favorite.
why I picked it up. I knew that.
That's my
I know
favorite.
you. I got you. Yep. Enough said.
Too light. It was uneventful.
But
It's-
did you like the?
I like that part, but,
I like
but
that.
everything else,
Can we take this off and put another bottle?
that's the
I have already. I've used that. I've used that pour. First time I'm tasting this, but I've used the pour.
You know
already.
that- what that is?
That's a quick point. Are most corks interchangeable?
yeah.
Okay, now you go back to your rating.
No, they
I'm
are.
sorry.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's not gonna fit in that though.
Most are, but it's not
No, it's
gonna
not
fit
gonna
over
fit in
there.
this big
Yeah.
man.
No.
Big
but
man.
so that is the Kirsten Dunst of
Just
of
there.
bourbon.
Just, yeah,
It's-
she's pretty. Yeah, but
good movies.
yeah.
She's still black.
Don't leave no.
Yeah, she's
don't
not
leave no
She's
everlasting
not
impression
winning
on.
any.
She ain't put no Denzel type performances in.
I don't know
Okay.
why.
She's
I
not
don't,
memorable
I don't know
like
why
that.
we're going after Kirsten.
I think it was a great comparison. I think it's like,
I thought it was.
We trying to relate to our viewers out here.
I could have said
Hey.
Reese. I could have said Reese Witherspoon.
You think our
Stay with Kristen Dunst.
I'm about to say our viewers are
Yes, we're trying to expand our viewership. Yes, we have
are
a couple.
Kirsten Dunst?
I am sure we have a couple Kristen Dunsts out there.
It's-
Please,
it's-
please
it's-
comment.
It's actually
please comment.
it's Kirsten.
Kirsten Dunst. I'm sorry. Last one.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Okay.
Kirsten Dunst was in Hidden Figures, so check out Hidden
Now,
Figures.
from a I don't know what you,
I don't have any other Kirsten Dunst movies.
I associate
Spider-Man.
you with a refined palate taste
The
bud.
one
So
black
which one
movie
are
she
you for the bang for the buck as far as the experience from a expertise type role? Which one are you
Yeah.
picking?
So all these are from my collection. The
Yes.
only one I'm buying again is this one. That's the only one I'm buying again.
Okay.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of that.
He's like, take this. Y'all go and taste this. Taste this. Taste this.
This is coming out.
Yeah.
This is coming
This
out with a
is-
lot of
look,
functions.
This is the one. Yeah, this is the one I'm gonna say. Hey, everybody, this is 12 years old. We all want
you know we can get them with.
this.
You know you can get them with
Yeah,
though.
that joint is coming out in
You
a
can
lot of
get them with the
functions.
pinch bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
Pinch bottle. That
Elma
that that,
same
that
bottle.
give us that pro tip on that pinch bottle. Why is that? Why is that thing? Why is
Oh,
that
the
there?
only reason
It's easy to hold.
it's easy to hold.
Yeah.
One, and it is reminiscent of bottles that have much greater stature.
Yeah.
Than this one in the industry.
Oh.
So that's the only thing. Otherwise, it's just a
Pinch
bottle.
I'm gonna go in on this one.
I like that marketing tool.
so
though. That
so
pinch
first
bottle
off,
just does something.
first
for me.
off, they didn't pay any real marketing company
No.
to help with the labeling. This is
like PowerPoint.
this is like high school.
PowerPoint.
Hey guys,
If you had to
show me what
design a
you know
whiskey
for-
label,
show me what you know
what
in
we do?
Photoshop.
if you had to design a Coke label
Not
from
even- not even Photoshop.
1755,
I'm
what would it
telling
look
you,
like?
This is
PowerPoint.
bad.
It's PowerPoint.
It
That's
is.
what that is.
It's
This
not
is
great.
bad. Like,
not
and
great.
they don't give a enough to put a story on it. They don't want you to know nothing. They're like, hey, old Medley, we out here.
Well,
I
you know,
think
on the
that's
other
part of
side
it.
of the
I think
camera,
that's
some
part of
guys
it.
like, keep talking, dude. I'm counting money over here.
100%.
He's like,
100%.
I'm counting money.
Oh yeah.
Because just the fact that you had 12 years old at the top, you're going to draw in a lot of bourbon drinkers that are
There you
going to
go.
want to say, "Oh, it's 12 years old. Let me
Yeah.
grab that." Because I have a 10-year-old Van Winkle in my or Rip Van
Yeah.
Winkle in my cabinet.
For both of you guys, what are the? I know we
Okay.
gotta get out of here, but what are the?
Okay.
We might can say for another podcast. Just let me know if you want to. But What are the age points for what you look for?
We can say that for another podcast,
Okay.
but bottom line,
Yeah.
I'll say it like this: if you are aging whiskey, you're trying to attain a certain age.
Yeah.
That does not necessarily mean that you're going to have a better product.
Okay.
You have to start with a great product and then age it in order to draw people in. There are a lot of bourbons out here that are young bourbons that are good.
Yeah.
And the barrel is good and the whiskey is good.
So newbies don't get wrapped around that age.
Don't get wrapped
like
around
we do
the
with
age.
Scotch or
But
something
what
like
you
that.
will see is you'll see a 10, you'll see a 12, you'll see a 15.
That's what I'm
you'll
talking
see a
about.
17.
Those
Like,
numbers
you'll
need
see-
to be
yeah,
resonant.
yeah,
Like
you'll see
10,
those
12,
numbers.
So
15.
maybe what we do because this is our second to last episode of the
Yeah,
season.
we can get into that.
In the last season, maybe
Yeah.
we do Knob Creek, and that way we can walk through 9 versus 12 versus 15.
Yeah.
And so you can see what the same whiskey looks like as it ages, because it's those kind of producers that are making. I mean, it's still Jim Beam, but it's kind of a smaller subset of Jim Beam.
Yeah.
But the age means something in that context.
Yeah.
Old Medley, I don't know because I don't even know. I haven't even tasted Waffins or Waffins.
Trash bill.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not mash bill.
But I know Knob Creek, and I know Knob Creek is good. It's one of my favorites. So now that I know what that flavor profile, I have
Yeah.
that in my brain.
Gotcha.
Now I can taste. Okay, what are the differences as
Yeah.
I go up in age?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna stay here and drink all day, but we're gonna get away
Yeah,
from you
we're
guys.
gonna wrap this up.
I am gonna ride with this one for the newbies.
I'm stealing that.
Check this out. If you need any other newbie impressions, please hit
And
us
at
up in the
19
comments.
bucks
I'll
on
let
that, I
you know
wouldn't even
exactly
be
what I want. I'm loving this. I'm loving the top of it.
I love the top
So
of it.
if I could take this and put it on that, then but we can't. But anyway, this taste is not bad either. So I would, if I had
You
to
know they
pick
have
two for you
the.
guys.
Do you have any of the Game
If I
of
had to
Thrones
pick-
scotches?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
So we know
some.
what's the price difference between these two, real quick.
$20.
$20.
Both of them are same.
1940.
and 41.
Oh,
yeah, literally
yeah.
20
So,
bucks.
so if you're a newbie, building your palate, start with this one.
Right,
then
right.
we can
But here's the
graduate
thing.
to that, right?
This is a Christmas pack, so you get the
heirlooms.
The heirlooms come.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get the Baratheon with it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: this and this cost
Yeah.
the same, and that's all you
That's
get.
all I get.
And it's not a great. This might be my new. So my cocktail right
That's my
now
everyday.
is Bismarck. But if
Yeah.
I want to do special, and Bismarck is good.
Yeah.
But
Bullet is normally my everyday.
if I want to
But that's
do
about to be my joint right
my
now.
new cocktail one, this might be
like that.
might be
That
my new.
old tub. Yeah, yeah.
What you wash your balls in?
Wrap us up,
Old
Damo.
tub.
Bring us home, Damo. Last
I don't even know if y'all want me to bring it on.
Do
That's
you
it.
like the new
I thought we
setup?
brought it home.
Please comment on the new setup also. Like, can you see me better? Can you see him better? Can you feel the flow better?
And BringTheWhiskey.com. Cop the merch. Kelvin has on the hoodie. I got on the polo, which I assume I'm going to buy. And then and then we got the hats, t-shirts,
For all you,
socks, all that good stuff.
for all you,
You don't have to wear the hat like a farmer.
What's the boy?
How you doing?
What's the boy that was married to Demi Moore?
Bruce Willis?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah, all you Ashton Kutcher motherfuckers.
The trucker
trucker hats,
fit.
yeah.
They
Is that
love-
Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah. Well, he made it famous. He's not. Of course, he didn't invent it, but
All right. Well, that's
All right.
it for us. Cut it, D.
some good stuff.
Umami. That's mushrooms.
Some good
and
stuff.
Things that taste like dirt.
Now, what were they going for here? Why? What is the significance in aging something 10 years, an arbitrary number like that? when you can pull yourself together.
So it's so funny because it's so close to the truth.
It's true.
The 10-year. So
Take your time
Hey, why they use the light skin label on that though?
to let you know.
I don't think that there is